From one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Atlanta Falcons and the Kansas City Chiefs. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. So this game, Charles, you know, we talked about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that, and by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
This pass complete to Pollard on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That burst good for 20 and a first down. 3rd and short, so didn't need much, but got a little extra on the backside. Nice run.
Chewed up the yardage, didn't he? To me, that was offensive line with leverage, good blocking angles, taking on a stacked defensive front. And once they chopped that little hole in the beginning, he took it and rambled.
And just the 3rd play from scrimmage, wanted to avoid the 3 and out and did just that. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. The Chiefs at 6-0. What a start to the season for them. And they have certainly got it rolling as of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And I think this is where, as a head coach, you show your team some trust. Instead of just talking about winning, the very next game, you point out to them, we're on a nice run here. And if we keep doing this, we'll be playing at home in the postseason, and we know that that could ride us all the way to the Super Bowl if we get that done.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster down inside the 10. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by Booker is on target, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. Falcons 1st and 10 here as Ritter gets them ready at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And complete to Drake London. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And that's out to the flat for Swift. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your...
And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There's absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the fumble recovery didn't set up an ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And they interplay here in this one on a 2-game win streak, plus they come off the open week as well. So this is a team that has a lot of things working in their favor.
Oh, it certainly is, and let's face it, this team is playing so well. The worry now is that after a few extra days off, they'll be sluggish coming into this game. So I've heard that he spent more time in practice working what they call good versus good, starting offense versus starting defense. They want a fast start in this next game.
A false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on 2nd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, this defense is circling early. A pick 6 there, and they are off to the races here this 1st quarter.
And, partner, when you get off to a 1st quarter lead like this, it really frees you up defensively to take some chances, really apply some heat. And that was just a tremendous play to pick that ball off and bring it back for a score.
So an early advantage now, and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one. And what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football. Let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down. They're going to look to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack. And it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, you had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the picks.
Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. They'll set up a throw. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. .42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3 except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Going to run again here with Pollard. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Gets it to Hardman, a jet sweep. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
But defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Now they'll throw with Mahomes. Flushed out right. His throw incomplete.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
They go play fake. Mahomes. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Tony Pollard with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point by Butker is on target as a round is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this one is incomplete.
As we've seen, their first 2 drives didn't yield anything points-wise. It certainly feels like they think to themselves, it's time to open this thing up, taking the big shot downfield.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. A misconnection there, and he's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60%.
Looking there for Pitts, but intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And the Chiefs will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
On the move past the 40. Down the sideline he goes. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Well, and this is where quarterbacks' passing numbers sometimes get a little bit more inflated than they should, because this is a short little pass, but it goes for big yardage. Butker on for the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But
I was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the game.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there. It also brings up 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure to give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They give him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Got his man. It's London. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try to put some points on the board.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
This pass is caught by London.
And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 31-yard line. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give them 25 yards.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they can use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it.
Well, this is intercepted. They get Ritter for the 3rd time.
Picked off by Justin Reed. Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
I cannot imagine a more perfect half of football for one side, CD, and a more disastrous half of football for another side. But if you focus on the positive half, with this pick 6, you look at where that lead is at, and to think that we are only in the 2nd quarter. My goodness.
I love the expression. My goodness, indeed. Pretty obvious. It's a free fall out there. Everybody gets a chance to make a play. And if you're on the field, you've got a great chance of being the next guy that your teammates are celebrating.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the 2nd half of this contest.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
This defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first-half scores just like this one.
They'll try and set up the screen to Swift.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The defense surrenders a 13-yard pass play there on 3rd and 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Chiefs are... here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. 88 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. That run's successful in large part because they had a lot of extra help blocking up front.
Yeah, you've got guys who can do that very, very well. In addition, they can catch the football. So sometimes when they line up with 3 tight ends, it's not necessarily to run it, And that gives you an advantage when you do decide to barrel off the line of scrimmage and block people downfield.
Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster in the first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
On second down, Swift. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result each and every attempt.
Out of the gun now on third down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Finding room at midfield. And he's going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
On first and 10, it's Swift. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll lose a yard there, and it's second and 11. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Leo Chanel. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half that's carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event.
And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Well, familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this third quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're back up, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
A break there for this offense as they will get a chance to start at the 40-yard line. So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure. Because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25. So at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
They run out of the gun with Swift. We'll get this up to about the 44.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last two drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out as they did.
And a decent little gain puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. And my goodness, another interception. Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Chiefs are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. And I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it.
and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. The slot man in motion right. On second down, it's Pollard. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48.
108 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. The partners still in the third quarter, but they've got this one well in hand and still airing it out with gusto and picking up some nice gains.
And even in lopsided games like this, you don't want to see starters get lifted or the foot come off the gas before the fourth quarter. No one wants to leave any doubt when they're playing well. They just want to continue the process.
It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. Escaping the pressure right. And he's got it. And in for the Chiefs touchdown.
Mecole Hardman.
A 16-yard touchdown.
And the Chiefs are pouring it on. Extra point by Butker is on target.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be second down.
They will run straight ahead with Swift.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
From the gun, here's Swift.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've caused big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 32-yard line. We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 32-yard line. They'll drop to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And Daniil Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? Or does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
He'll drop to throw. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. This offense so far on third down, 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This will be 3rd and a mile. And now here's another interception. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
139 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Pollard is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line.
Not able to go anywhere that time. 2nd down. So stuffed from the 2. Now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Tony Pollard taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Chiefs add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point by Butker is on target. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first. They'll set up to throw.
Got London on a slant. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the 4th quarter with how wide this advantage is, For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
He's got his man London right side.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
Ritter and London team up there. First down, Atlanta.
Back to throw again.
And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on 2nd down.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens because if he starts feeling the pressure from the defense, he uses their aggressiveness against them.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Now for the point after. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Here's Pollard again. There he goes, right side. The 40. The 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Another touchdown here in the 4th quarter. And, Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And, partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side has been guided to this late lead.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there, and trailing big.
And my goodness, another interception.
And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
They go back to Pollard on 2nd down. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Butker now to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camp, your off-season. But on game day, you guys want to show your best, and I think that's what we saw. The offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Chiefs, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they will get a home date next week against the Los Angeles Chargers.